Today I fucked up by ingesting my BF's chemo. Figured it out today, but have been fucking up for 3 weeks. BF started chemo and has been very fortunate to be feeling pretty okay. So our sex life has stayed at our normal level. Probably even more active since, well, he's terminal. I've been having horrible nausea and headaches. I already have anxiety, so I figured I'm just a mess over the cancer, kids, job stress, etc. and making myself sick. This morning I woke up queasy again, and joked about having sympathy chemo symptoms. I Google, and know that's not a thing, but secondhand chemo exposure is. Through bodily fluids. Symptoms include nausea and headaches. And the periods of me feeling bad line up perfectly to his treatments. I've been letting my dude nut poison in me, folks. You're supposed to use condoms for several days after chemo and also not swap a bunch of spit. Now that I know this, it seems super obvious. But guess I was too horny to think it through. Too long didn't read, did dirty deeds with my BF's chemo dick and got sick from it. ETA, thanks for all the well wishes and debates on my stupidity. To answer as many questions as I can, and also because I feel mildly defensive, he is stage 4, with literal dozens of bone mets. There is no cure but no timeline either. We probably have a few more years. He is in excellent care at a renowned university program. We adore his team. I've been at every appointment, taken notes, blah blah. This was not reviewed with us, only side effects. The separate bathroom/wear gloves thing was reviewed with the couple next to us, and we even wondered aloud what kind of scary chemo they were getting. We didn't read the pamphlet because this ain't his first chemo rodeo, but it is mine. So all of us, including his care team, let it slip through the cracks. We're only in our 30s, but our best guess is they figured he'd be too weak for sex. Or they just forgot. Or they figured we'd read the info. Shit happens. Edit 2, please stop hitting on me in my DMs, Jesus fucking Christ. I've heard of STIs but never sexually transmitted treatments. Edit, yay, my new highest scoring comment. I'd like to say that as a cancer survivor myself, I missed my shot to learn this myself, both by being too young to be sexually active at the time of chemotherapy and by not having a serious relationship with a girl until I was in my late 20s. As a pharmacist, this makes me upset that you guys weren't counseled more thoroughly on the medication. As a nurse, an oncology nurse even. That was my first exact thought as well. This is so disgusting on the healthcare side. They should have been more informed. Someone could have been really hurt. Please talk to your own doctor about this. Depending on what treatment he is on, this could have serious consequences for you, increased risk of cancers in the future, impaired fertility, etc. It is more than likely not a big deal, but you should at least know the potential consequences of this. Source, am a GP married to an oncologist. Edit, choosing not to clarify the acronym initialism given the quality of guesses. I am so sorry to hear about the status of your boyfriend's cancer. He's lucky he's got you by his side through it, and also that you're both able to keep your senses of humor throughout it. May you both have as much time together as possible, keep the laughter going and enjoy what time you have. Can't believe no one else seems to be commenting on the fact that your BF is terminal. My deepest condolences. Today I fucked up by letting my boyfriend have a lie-in. Obligatory just over a week ago comment. So I have been moved in with my boyfriend 3 weeks. It was quite sudden as we've only been together 3 months. And also somewhat poorly planned as one of us has a cat. And the other has a tiny parrot who genuinely believes he is a velociraptor. Ragebeak belongs to me. It is a Saturday morning, and he has commenced the daily scream at about 7, not too early and not too late, but definitely too loud. Still, I thought being a Saturday I'd take him downstairs and cuddle/play and let my boyfriend lie in. I fell down the stairs. Still holding very small parrot, and my first thought was, oh god, don't crush him, so I threw my hands up like I just didn't care and I broke my back. And then when I finally got somewhat upright and attempted to go back up the stairs, Parrot is stood a few steps up completely fucking baffled by my behavior, but importantly he is neither flat or dead. I passed out from the pain, hit my head off the counter and sustained a head injury. Woke up a bit later, laid on the floor dribbling, and attempted round 2 significantly more successfully, and went to go shriek about ambulances at my boyfriend, because as it happens he sleeps like the dead and heard none of the screaming / clattering / slamming noises. Too long didn't read, removed Parrot from bedroom so my boyfriend could have a sleep in, broke spine and woke him up with screaming of my own. Right in his face. Edit. Thank you all for your concern. The spinal cord itself is fine, so I'm not paralyzed and there shouldn't be any life-ruining effects. I'm just on bed rest and lots of pain medication. Thanks for the silver. And gold. And the poo. And all your lovely comments, / well wishes / recommendations. Smile. The idiot in question. The sad part is that Ragebeak will never understand what lengths you went to not accidentally kill them. PTW, how's the recovery coming along? I've said this myself, the boy is not grateful. It's not so bad, I can walk for short periods of time, but the pain and being mostly sofa / bed bound is driving me insane. Ragebeak is a conner. I would also like to specify that's just a nickname. He's called Basil, the breaker of backs. Ragebeak Spinebreaker, the most feared Aarakocra barbarian in all the land. Sorry, I know I really shouldn't laugh, but Ragebeak is mine just got me before I even read on. I vote Ragebeak for Prime Minister. Can I just point out that Ragebeak is my favorite character in this story and the one I relate the most. Thanks. Usually I'd say same, but today I fucked up by shaving my butt. I'm a dude. I got a little carried away with personal grooming time. My usual mindset is along the lines of trim the grass but don't scorch the earth, and I'm not really into body shaving. But I had the brilliant idea that maybe a non-hairy butt might be something nice to explore, so on a whim, I decided to give it a go. I failed to take into consideration what a massive undertaking this would turn out to be. Even if you're normal sized, your butt is bigger than you think. It's not like shaving your face, where there's a relatively small amount of surface that needs actual shaving. A butt represents a decent-sized parcel of real estate. And even if you're not super hairy, the hair is probably widespread, which means you probably have to shave the whole thing. With my face, I get maybe 2 or 3 swipes of the razor before I have to rinse off the blade. With my butt, as it turns out, I get about half a swipe before the razor is full. And I mean full in a rinse it off. Oops, that didn't work. I guess I'm going to have to swipe backward against a washcloth or towel and then rinse it off some more kind of a way. I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to throw out this washcloth because even after washing it, it still has the appearance of my grandparents' shag carpet. Also, even if you're flexible, your butt's kind of difficultly positioned and awkward to reach. I had to keep reminding myself which way I was going, and at some point, I developed a very real fear that I was accidentally going to do a sideways swipe instead of a vertical swipe, which would be disastrous for obvious reasons. Then, at some point, you have to make a decision, am I only shaving the outside? Or do I go, between the pages? In my ongoing brilliance, I decided that shaving just the outer cheeks would only serve to make the inside appear that much hairier, so I parted the fold and continued inward. This, it turns out, is a different undertaking altogether. Skin that never sees the light of day is, understandably, much more sensitive. Also, by this time I was sweating from nervousness, and it helps nothing to also now have the potential for losing my grip on the razor. It took probably 45 minutes altogether, and by the time I finished this somewhat harrowing project, I was feeling pretty accomplished. I wasn't done, however, with my string of bad decisions. Aftershave was a terrible, horrible idea. I only had a minute or 2 of enjoying my nice, smooth butt before I decided something along the lines of, now let's make this smooth skin feel like someone set it on fire. It took a solid half hour for the burning sensation to subside. And by then, there was no real enjoyment over my achievement, just a relief that my ass no longer felt ablaze. And that brings us to the final experience, which is the ongoing consequence of this particular grooming experiment. You know how each of us sort of learns the best way to position yourself so you can stifle a fart. Shaving your butt changes all of that drastically. You will never fart quietly with a shaved butt, and I do mean never. About an hour or so after I had finished, I dropped a normal-sized fart without really thinking about it. The sound visibly startled me. It was like someone fired a machine gun in an echo chamber. Anyone within earshot will clearly hear the unmistakable sound of your butt cheeks slapping against each other. And without hair to provide an easy exit, you will feel the little gas bubbles as they slowly work their way up your butt crack, like the carbonation bubbles on a Sprite that you've poured into a glass. Every fart since then has been a very similar experience, and I now suspect this will continue until the hair grows back. I guess it was worth doing in the sense of, well, now I know what that's like. But I can't say I recommend the experience, and I'm certainly never planning to do it again. Too long didn't read, shaved my butt. Was difficult. Used aftershave, which set my ass on fire. Can never fart silently again. Edit, to those of you sending me private messages, I am 100% not going to send you a photo of my butt. I'm flattered, but it's not happening. Not even for science or for education. My story in text form is as far as I'm willing to go. You all are hilarious, though. Edit 2, thank you for the gold, kind stranger. Final edit, I can't even begin to thank you all for the ridiculous amount of awards, comments, messages, and hilarity. This has been the highlight of my 7 years on Reddit. You all are the best. Wait till you go for a crap and it just rockets out instead of getting tangled up like Tarzan after a few jungle beers. Cleanup is easier too because you don't have to try and wipe shit from the equivalent of Chewbacca's beard. I do agree that farts afterwards are like a round of applause. Jesus Christ, just how hairy are guys' asses. Edit, okay, guys, I get it. I don't like having these imageries in my head. This is why beard trimmers were invented. Yeah, I don't understand everyone here. I shave my ass once a week and just use an electric hair trimmer. Takes me 5 minutes and there's no downside. You relearn how to fart silently. Just wait until you experience butt stubble. I'd imagine it'll be quite unpleasant. I suspect you're right. I'm also now terrified at the thought of ingrown hairs, which is another thing I clearly never considered before deciding to shave my butt. This will probably lead to vigorous daily scrubbing, and the sacrifice of yet more washcloths. Let's hope it doesn't also lead to today I fucked up, by exfoliating my butt crack. Do just wait till you go out for a walk and your butt crack stubble starts rubbing against your sensitive bits. Better to use a beard trimmer which leaves some left over to trip it back but not leave everything smooth. This helps lessen the negative effects you've described.